classified. They've sought more documents. The subpoena, they've been in touch with Trump's lawyers, and that led to this search a week ago. So we'll have to wait and see, and I think the frustrating part of this case is a lot of it may not be public. It's an ongoing investigation. Nobody's been charged, and because it does involve potentially classified documents, the government may not be able to talk about that publicly.
Aidan Pirate is NPR's national security correspondent. Thank you.
My pleasure.
India is celebrating 75 years of independence from British rule. Today, Prime Minister Narendra Modi pledged to reduce poverty and turn India into a developed economy in 25 years. In 1947, India gained independence. It was split into two nations, mostly Muslim Pakistan and majority Hindu India. That partition led to chaos and bloodshed. As many as 2 million people were killed and millions displaced. NPR international correspondent Lauren Frayer is in Mumbai. Hello, Lauren.
Hi there.
Independence Day is a national holiday in India. What did you see today of people marking the occasion?
Yeah, so in Mumbai, where I am, we've had torrential monsoon rains, but it hasn't stopped people from waving Indian flags like crazy. They're hanging off people's homes, cars, rickshaws, tea stalls. Today is a day off work and school, and people have been out in the streets celebrating. Earlier in the morning, families gathered to watch on TV this big festival of democracy at Delhi's 17th century Red Fort. There was a military salute, the national anthem. They released thousands of balloons in colors of the Indian flag, the saffron, white, and green. Olympic athletes were there. There were tribal dances, and the Prime Minister gave a speech with a clip that you played calling, India the mother of democracy. Obituaries have been written time and again for Indian democracy. People said this country was too big, too diverse, too poor for democracy to work here. There were predictions of famine and military rule, and none of that happened. India proved the world wrong. And so that's what people are celebrating today. India is now the biggest democracy in the world. But there are also some real questions about the future health of democracy here.
Well, Modi is an extremely popular prime minister, also a Hindu nationalist, and his critics say this has led to discrimination against minorities. What questions still remain about the future of democracy in India?
We have a majority faith into politics in a way that many voters like, and that's part of why he's popular. But it leaves a big question for Indian minorities, as you say, especially 200 million Muslims. India has one of the biggest Muslim populations in the world, and many of them don't see a future in a country that prioritizes Hinduism, a Hindu faith, when it comes to rights and protections for citizens. India has thus fallen in global democracy indices in recent years. Under Modi's government, we've seen press freedom eroded. We've seen the civil service politicized. We've seen the judiciary corrupted.
Well, this Hindu nationalism, this messaging against religious minorities, does it bring some people back to 1947 and the bloody partition, the sectarian violence? I know this partition generation is dwindling, but surely some of those wounds are still there?
The wounds are absolutely still there. I mean, Muslims and other minorities these days have faced disproportionate violence and discrimination, but it's nothing like the more than a million people that were killed in 1947.